Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of Washington quarters, those 25-cent coins you've probably seen a million times. But did you know that some of these quarters are worth way more than just a quarter? That's right. Today we'll be talking about 3 Washington quarters that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, grab your coins, and let's get into it. The rare 1967 Washington quarter worth $6,250. Now, let's start with the basics. At first glance, a 1967 Washington quarter might look like just another coin from the 1960s. It's got the usual image of George Washington on the front and the eagle on the back, pretty standard for quarters from that era, right? But if you know what to look for, you'll see why this specific coin can fetch you such a high price. So, why is this 1967 quarter worth so much? The answer lies in something pretty simple, the mint mark, or more specifically, the lack of one. Most coins from 1967 would have a mint mark indicating where they were produced, either a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or no mint mark if they were made in Philadelphia. But this particular 1967 Washington quarter doesn't have a mint mark at all, and that's what makes it so rare. Take a closer look. Right here, where the mint mark would normally be stamped on the coin, it's completely absent. Normally, this wouldn't mean much, but in this case, it makes this coin incredibly valuable. You see, coins without mint marks are a rarity. They were accidentally produced in 1967 when the Philadelphia Mint was striking quarters without properly marking them. As a result, these no mint mark coins are considered a rare error by collectors. Most of the 1967 quarters that were produced are worth just face value, 25 cents. But when you find one that's missing its mint mark, it's a whole different ball game. In good condition, a 1967 quarter without a mint mark can be worth as much as $6,250. That's right, a simple error in the minting process can make this 25-cent coin worth thousands. Now, you might be wondering how to tell if you've got one of these valuable quarters. First, check to see if the coin has a mint mark. If it doesn't, that's step 1 in confirming you've got something special. Then, take a close look at the condition of the coin. The better the condition, the more valuable it is. Coins in mint condition are obviously going to be worth more, but even coins with some wear and tear can still fetch a pretty penny if they're missing the mint mark. If you do find one of these rare 1967 quarters, make sure to protect it. Store it in a safe place and consider getting it professionally appraised. Some of these coins have sold for more than $6,000 at auctions, so it's definitely worth getting it evaluated by an expert. Alright, there you have it. The 1967 Washington quarter without a mint mark is a prime example of how something as small as a missing mint mark can turn a simple coin into a real treasure. So, go through your change, check your quarters, and who knows, you might just have one of these rare finds. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss out on more coin tips and tricks. How to spot rare 1974 Washington quarters worth $800. So, let's take a closer look. This is your standard 1974 Washington quarter. It's got the usual design with George Washington on the front and an eagle on the back. Nothing too fancy, right? But what you don't see right away could make this coin incredibly valuable. Now, check this out. What if I told you this 1974 quarter has a mistake on it? Yep, that's right. Some 1974 quarters were struck with manufacturing errors, things like off-center strikes, double dies, and even cracks or gouges on the coin's surface. These little mistakes turn a normal, everyday coin into a valuable collector's item. Take a look at this error example. Notice how the image of George Washington is shifted to one side? That's an off-center strike. It's subtle, but if you look closely, the design doesn't line up properly with the edge of the coin. This happens when the blank coin isn't properly aligned when it's being struck by the minting press. And it makes the coin unique. That slight misalignment could make this quarter worth hundreds of dollars. A well-preserved, off-center 1974 quarter can easily fetch you $800 or more, depending on the severity of the error. And that's not even the only error you might find. Another error that's common in the 1974 quarters is something called a double die. This happens when the coin is struck twice in the same spot, but slightly off-center. This can cause a doubling effect, where the details of George Washington's image or the lettering look blurry or even doubled. If you find a 1974 quarter with a noticeable double die, that's another valuable coin to look out for. Errors like these are actually pretty rare, and coin collectors love finding them. The more extreme the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. In some cases, if you have a 1974 quarter with a strong misstrike or a double die, it could be worth significantly more than just $800. So, if you have a 1974 quarter sitting around, don't just dismiss it as pocket change. Take a good look at it. Inspect the details carefully. Does George Washington's portrait look a little off-center? Are the letters blurry or doubled? If so, you might have just stumbled upon a rare error coin that could be worth a pretty penny. Remember, coins with errors like these are highly sought after by collectors. So, if you find a 1974 Washington quarter with a noticeable error, get it appraised. You might be holding onto something that could add hundreds of dollars to your collection. Alright, that wraps up today's deep dive into the valuable 1974 Washington quarter. Hopefully, this has inspired you to check your change for those rare, error-filled coins. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future coin tips and tricks. The 1995p mint mark quarter worth $4,500. Take a look at this 1995 Washington quarter. If you pay attention, you'll notice this P mint mark right here, indicating that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. But what really sets this coin apart from other quarters is the story behind the minting process during this time. In the 1990s, the US Mint started a little phenomenon called the error coin phenomenon. This is when a specific batch of coins was struck with minting errors that actually made them more valuable. And the 1995p Washington quarter? It's one of the key coins that collectors are on the lookout for. So, what kind of errors are we talking about? Well, the 1995p quarter is known for having some significant errors, and these errors can dramatically increase its value. The most common mistake on these quarters is something called double die. This happens when the coin is struck more than once, leading to a doubling effect on the images and text. If you look closely at the coin, you might notice some blurry or doubled features, particularly on George Washington's profile or on the lettering around the edge of the coin. These double die errors aren't just minor imperfections, they're sought after by collectors because they're pretty rare. The more noticeable and clear the error, the higher the value. A 1995p quarter with this kind of error can easily fetch upwards of $4,500 if it's in mint condition. That's a huge amount for a coin that only originally cost a quarter. So, if you happen to have a 1995p mint mark quarter, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. Check for any noticeable doubling in the design. If you find one with clear errors, make sure to get it appraised. The value can vary depending on the condition and severity of the error, but these quarters can bring in some serious cash. All three rare Washington quarters, 1967 no mint mark, 1974 error coin, and 1995p mint mark quarter, side by side. Let's quickly recap the top three rare Washington quarters. The 1967 quarter without a mint mark could bring in an incredible $6,250. The 1974 quarter, especially with errors like misstrikes or double dies, could be worth $800 or more. And the 1995p mint mark quarter, particularly with any minting errors, could be worth a staggering $4,500. If you're out hunting for rare coins, or even just digging through old change you have lying around, be sure to keep an eye out for these valuable Washington quarters. You never know what you might stumble upon in your pocket or your grandma's coin jar. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope this video inspired you to check your spare change for those hidden gems. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss another coin collecting tip. And remember, you might just have a rare find sitting right in your pocket. Until next time, happy hunting!